Hello everyone, I will be showing you how to make some nitrocellulose today. You will need a dish, something to put the flask in, so it's going to look something like this. And you're going to fill the surrounding with ice, and then you're going to need some sulfuric acid and some potassium nitrate. And of course we have our cellulose here that we will be using to make the nitrocellulose. Some personal protective equipment that you will need are some glasses, some gloves, and also a lab coat or an apron. Another thing you'll need is a sodium bicarbonate solution in case of an acid spill. And here's a video of me producing the solution. This is the sodium bicarbonate solution. You don't need a magnetic stirrer to create the solution. You can just use any type of mixing device like a spoon. Before we get started, I just wanted to talk about the reaction itself. I've talked about this in a previous video, but in that video we used the nitric acid and sulfuric acid. But I said we're using potassium nitrate and sulfuric acid, and this is actually what's going on. It's creating potassium hydrogen sulfate and the nitric acid that we need. The nitric acid will then react with the leftover sulfuric acid and then produce the nitronium ion. Another thing I want to add is if the reaction is above 20 degrees Celsius, the reaction will actually shift to the left and it's not going to produce enough nitronium ions to actually produce the nitrocellulose. In the description of the video, I'll have a link to a website that has more information about this reaction. One thing I wanted to add is if you're going to do this chemical reaction, you want to do it in a well-vented place, so like outside, because it does produce noxious fumes. Even doing the reaction in a well-vented place, I still recommend wearing a mask. I highly recommend wearing a mask. Alright, the first step to making this, you want to measure out about 60 grams of potassium nitrate. Next, you want to measure out about 220 milliliters of the sulfuric acid. And before we proceed with the reaction, we actually want to tear up the cotton balls so that the reaction is more dispersed. Here I have the cotton balls that are more dispersed. Here you can see the potassium nitrate beaker inside an ice bath. And here's when we're going to pour in the sulfuric acid. Alright, so I just poured in the sulfuric acid, and this is when you want to mix it around so that the reaction will take place. And please remember to do this in a well-vented area so that you don't breathe in any noxious fumes. Now that we have the reaction mixed, we want to start putting in the cotton balls. Now I have finished mixing all of the cotton balls into the solution, and now we have to wait for it to nitrate for a few days. Please remember to keep the reaction below 20 degrees Celsius at all times, or else the nitration will not work. Alright, so it's been 4 days and the cotton balls should be done nitrating. And now I'm going to show you how to extract the nitrocellulose. Alright, so you just want to start by adding in some water. And again, please be careful of the fumes. Do this in a well-vented area with a mask on. All right, now what we want to do is we just want to get the cotton balls from the bottom. Something like that, and just mix it around. Once you have mixed it around, you want to empty out the water so that there's just the nitrocellulose left, and please be sure to empty it in a safe area. So this is just me kneading it around in the cold water. You'll notice that the cold water actually starts to heat up because this is a exothermic reaction. Now you want to keep kneading it and then rechanging the water until it has very little acid left over, or preferably even no acid left over in the cotton balls. You can test out any acid that's left by using the sodium bicarbonate solution. and just getting a little bit of the water that you use to rinse out the acid and just see if it fizzes. As you can see here, it does fizz, which means that there's still a good bit of acid left. Alright, so now that we've extracted all of the acid out of the cotton, we just want to pull it apart and wait for it to dry. Alright, now that we have all the nitrocellulose laid out evenly, we'll wait a few days for it to dry. Alright, so it's been a few days, it's been approximately 2 days, and I'm about to test out the nitrocellulose. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Alright everyone, thank you for watching my video and I hope you enjoyed.